City My Game Pod Show featuring Raider J77, your place for all things Raiders and all things Trailblazers. Brought to you by the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's go.
Once a Raider, bruh, always a Raider, bruh. Shit simple as that. You look silver and black. Lot of bread invested in that old line. Car insurance cost the arm and the leg.
What is going on, Raider Nation? We are in the building. What is going on, y'all? It is your boy Darian coming to you live with another video. We are the Spotlight Raiders Talk with my co-host Raider J77. What is up, man? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. And I'm not food hungover or nothing like that. You know, I didn't go crazy yesterday, so I'm feeling good, man.
I'm feeling good as well. You know, it was Turkey Day. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody that they had their gobble. They was stuffed. They did everything they were supposed to do to have a good Thanksgiving. And now we are past it. It's Black Friday. If you have not went over to spotlightsportsgear.com and got you some merch, you are missing out on a 25% off. When I tell you, when people are getting stuff left and right for this Raider Nation stuff and just merch itself, like this hat I got here, which is Spotlight Raiders Talk. I end up getting me 2 hoodies and a hat for less than $60 with the 20, even after the 25% off, which that was not bad at all. So if you are missing out, make sure you got to 12 a.m. tonight to get you something. The redeem code is at the top of the website, spotlightsportsgear.com. How you feel about it, man? How you feel about the Black Friday promotion?
Man, it's dope, man. Yeah, I went on there and picked up some stuff as well. So yeah, man, definitely go check it out. 25% off. I mean, that's, you know, it makes up for the cost of the shipping and then some. So definitely go check that out. The stuff is solid. It's quality product. You know, we definitely have a lot of people that have already purchased stuff, and they're sending us good reviews saying, you know, everything is really nice and comfortable. Darian, you have some of the stuff, so you could firsthand, you know, attest to the quality of the craftsmanship.
I don't have the Spotlight Raiders Talk shirt, but I do have a Spotlight Raiders Talk hat. It's a little dingy because I've been wearing it a lot because black is my favorite color, but y'all see here is the Spotlight Raiders Talk snapback that we got right here. So definitely got to go on spotlightsportsgear.com and definitely get some of that, man. Got to copy some gear. But see, everybody want to get that PS5, but then you ain't getting no discount on the PS5, Robert. You ain't getting no discount on the PS5, my brother. So you gotta sometimes you probably just have to make that sacrifice. But we're here to talk about some things that's talking about what's going on with the Raider Nation. It's some news that had came out that Takk McKinley did pass his physical, but he will be out for the next 3 games due to a groin injury. So he's not going to travel with the team. Jay, how do you feel about that, knowing that we already know that he's not going to be able to play?
I mean, hey, I'm not normally a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but it's fun. I find it funny that Takk McKinley is from Oakland and he just so happened to fail 2 physicals from 2 teams. And now he gets, you know, picked up by the Raiders, and all of a sudden, you know, he passes. And then John Gruden was asked about Takk McKinley and basically said that he is the future of the Raiders. We just don't know when that future is going to start exactly yet. So those are interesting. That's an interesting remark coming from John Gruden. That's one of the things that make you go, you know, basically saying Takk McKinley is the future of this team. We just don't know exactly when. And obviously that meaning, you know, they're not exactly sure when they're going to get him, you know, into the fold, but they obviously see something they like, you know, with his physical and working him out and stuff like that. They obviously see some stuff. There's definitely some stuff going on behind closed doors that the rest of us don't see. You bring in Vic Beasley. Vic Beasley, they're trying to start him this Sunday. You bring in Tack McKinley. All of a sudden, he passes a physical. I'm trying not to get too excited, but I'm loving the fact that the Raiders are doing this stuff. It's not costing them a lot of money. It's not costing them a lot when it comes to the cap or trades or anything like that. But guys that have been, Pro Bowl type guys in the past, and you've seen some resurgence. I mean, look at Darren Waller and some of the other guys on the team that have reinvented their career in Las Vegas with the Raiders. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited, but again, I'm trying not to get too excited because sometimes things don't work out. I mean, you never know.
So it's been a lot of news that actually came out, man. So BL said, Nation Family question: is it the dishwasher responsibility to the wash up refrigerator door handle?
Is the dishwasher? Is it the dishwasher's responsibility to wash up the refrigerator door handle?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, so how it is at my house is our daughter is the designated dishwasher. That's her designated chore. And so she does wipe down the counters and, like the front of the cabinets. And, but we've never really like had you should wipe down the, the refrigerator handle. I suppose it's probably a good thing to do. That's one of them things that we kind of do when we deep clean. It's not really an everyday type thing, but
yeah, it's not an everyday type thing either. But just to let y'all know, Cleveland Farrell is off the COVID-19 reserve list. I think LaMarcus Joyner's off. I think everybody's off the list if I'm not mistaken, right, Jay? I haven't heard anything about Corey Littleton. So
I believe, Corey Littleton is free and clear. So from what I understand, he didn't like practice, but he was with the team the same time that Cleveland Farrell was. So
even Trip Brown was off the list as well, and I think he practiced if I'm not mistaken. But we definitely want to look through the injury report and see what's going on with the injury report. John Q says Muse and McKinley are going to feel like a bonus in the draft picks next year. I mean, we just got to see what Muse can do in the field, knowing that he's not on the field for the rest of the year with a foot injury, knowing that we found that earlier in the week about Richie Incognito as well. He's not going to be able to play the rest of the year. So we're going to get strictly into the matchup because at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, we do have Mad Mike Sports of the Atlanta Falcons. He is a Atlanta Falcons YouTuber. We will be having him on here at 7:30 because I know he's live right now. I'm doing his production as well on his own channel. So we will have Mad Mike Sports, a YouTuber for the Atlanta Falcons, up on the show. Y'all do not want to miss that. That's going to be something to talk about. Possibly he might have 2 Atlanta Falcons YouTubers up here, so we can just make it even, so we don't have to keep jumping Jake every single time that we do a Chargers game. So as far as the injury report, I did see let's actually look at it so far. Let me just pull it up for y'all. Just give me a second. Just the area that I'm in, it makes it so hard. What's going on, Isabella? What's going on? Marcus 85, what's going on? Trent Brown should be a go, but we're going to look at the actual the injury report as of today. It might change. It might change between today and Sunday. So you make sure you want to hear this. Nelson Aguilar was a full participant. He's a go. Damon Arnett was a full participant. He's a go. You got Cleveland Farrell, but is not injury related. He was not listed on Thursday. He was limited today, and his game status is questionable. Eric Havers was limited today. His game status is questionable. Maurice Hurst was full. His game status like he's going to go. Mm-hmm. What I see here. Alec Ingo was limited, but it seemed like his status is going to go. Josh Jacobs with a hip. He was limited on Thursday and Friday, but it doesn't say anything about his game status either. Colton Miller and Carl Nassib was full today. Their game status is good. Jalen Richard was full participant in practice today. He don't have no game time status. Amik Robinson was limited, but he don't have a game time status. Kendall Victors was a full participant in practice. He don't have no game status, and Sam Young was limited all week with a knee injury, and there's no actual game status for him. So we only have 2 players on this injury report that is listed questionable as of right now. And the Atlanta Falcons have 3 people that's questionable, and that is Lou Shocker, they have Dante Fowler Jr., and they have Hayden Hurst. And the only person that look like is going to be out, which we see on his injury report, and it's very important to see that running back Todd Gurley will be out for this game against the Raiders. How are you feeling about this injury report that I just reported to you, bro? How are you feeling about it?
Man, it's nice to know the guys are coming back. You know, we're getting guys back from injury, getting healthy again. And I just seen that they did activate Corey Littleton from the reserve COVID-19 list. So he's back to going. It looks like, you know, seeing is that he wasn't on, you know, wasn't put back on or anything like that. So far so good for him. Yeah, man, I'm excited about it, man. I'm full strength. This team, it's exciting. You know what I mean? We've added some pieces since since some guys went down. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what this team looks like, all healthy, all at the same time. Hopefully soon we'll get Trent Brown back. There's reports that he's been with the team on and off. So it definitely sounds like, you know, he's rehabbing pretty well. But yeah, getting him back, you know, obviously we're not going to get Incognito back. He's done for the season. So, but we have a good replacement for him. I'm excited about it, man. It's what we needed when we needed it right here. This last push for playoffs and going into the playoffs, man. I'm trying not to get my hopes up, D. I'm really trying. I'm trying real hard not to get my hopes up, but I can feel, it feels like there's good stuff in the future, but the Raiders have let me down before. They've let me down before, but I feel like there's really good things in the future. Like we're really going to make a splash in the playoffs, man. If not,
I really think that,
AFC West.
Right.
Go ahead. AFC Championship.
I really think that this is a totally different team than what we were last year. Mind you, we were 6-4 around this time and then went to Strez. And we had a lot of players that was injured last year as well, that everything fell apart. It seemed like everybody's coming back to full strength besides a certain people that's done for the year. I think it's a different mindset for these Raiders, honestly, for especially on the offensive side. I think on the offensive side, we have been very more confident. I think at every position, I think that Derek Carr took a big leap in this offense, taking control of this offense. I feel like the running backs, the offensive line, how many people that we switched out from offensive line, and we still was able to get Josh Jacobs 4 or 5 yards of carry in most of these games. And they protected Derek Carr as well. He barely got sacked this year, even though so many players was out, with Trent Brown with the COVID, Sam Young staying hurt, bringing in Brandon Parker, Denzel Good. They've been playing so well. I think the confidence is there. And I think we didn't have that much confidence last year, knowing that we were 6-4 last year, but it wasn't much confidence there. It wasn't much confidence. Oh, it's a possibility that we could really do this. Derek Carr got this team believing that they could actually do it. And the media is behind them.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Derek Carr right now, Derek Carr's passer rating is 108.7. Do you know what it was? You want to know what it was for the entire 2019 season? 100.8. 100.8. So he went from 100.8 passer rating for all of 2019. Now, in 2020, right now, he is at 108.7. He's got 19 touchdowns on the season. Last season, the whole season, 21. So he's playing. The dude is playing better. Let's see. You know what? Let's just for fun. 2016, his passer rating was 96.7. And he had 28 touchdowns for the entire 2016 season. So he was sacked in 2016 16 times. He's only been sacked 14 times so far this season. Let's see what else. What other? His longest pass in 2016 was 75 yards. This year, right now, is 72 yards. He threw 6 interceptions in 2016. He's only thrown 3 so far this season. He had 3,937 passing or 37 yards passing. Right now he's at 2,431. He averaged seven yards per pass in 2016. Right now he's averaging 7.7. And his completion percentage was 63.8 in 2016. Right now it's 69.7. So if you're going to tell me that Derek Carr is not a better quarterback in 2020 than he is in 2016 when he was in the talk for MVP, you're crazy. Because the season's not even over yet. You know, and if he continues this level of play, he better be in the talk for MVP. He better be. Especially Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's playing elite football. And that's why I made that video of the 4 reasons why the Raiders should extend Derek Carr. If he can stay under this John Gruden offense and get to evolve a little bit more, I gave y'all 4 reasons why we should extend them. Number 1, there's no one else in the market coming out of as a quarterback in free agency next year. I don't think there's no quarterback that's actually coming out of college that's going to be better than Derek Carr. That's 2. And number 3, I just feel like at the end of the day, Derek Carr is that guy for this team for the long run. Keep John Gruden there for the years to come, and then, you know, keep Carr there as well. But I do see that we do have our guy, Mad Mike Sports, in the group right now. So let me just update this overlay real quick and introduce him into the chat. So we got my guy Mad Mike Sports of the Atlanta Falcons. You know, he's an Atlanta Falcons YouTuber. What is going on, Mike? Thank you for tuning in, you know, on a short notice, man.
Hey man, it's all good, man. What's good with you guys, man?
No, that's my guy, Raider J77. That is my my host for tonight as well. So
good,
I saw your video and I wanted to talk to you about your video about how you feeling about Todd Gurley being out for this game, because I know that's a very important piece to this offense. So break it down to us, man. Be honest with us.
Is it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm asking you. I'm asking you, my guy. I'm asking you.
We should be asking Dirk Cutter. Is he? Like, I want to know myself. Is he really a key piece? Because we still haven't been running the ball. We still haven't been running the ball at all. So I'm not sure if he is a key piece. So does it matter? We need to be focused on Josh Jacobs. That's what we need to be worried about. Let's be real.
So speaking of, you know, your Falcons, and I know that you have, from what I've seen, I know it's still a good offense in some sorts. No, but Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, which I have Calvin Ridley in my fantasy. But how do you feel that your offense can match up with our defense, knowing that our defense has really been on the bad side of things? So how you feeling? Like, do you think it's a mismatch with your offense versus our defense?
I don't think anybody could handle our offense. I really don't think anybody could handle Matt Ryan. I don't think anybody can handle Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley when they are on. This offense is nothing this offense can't do when they are on. And that's the issue. That's been the issue all year. When they are on, they are on. This dude is an MVP candidate. He's won MVP. Julio Jones is, in my opinion, the greatest receiver I've ever seen. I mean, no disrespect to the great Jerry Rice, and I know you guys know a little bit about Jerry Rice. You've seen him himself, but I've never seen anything like Julio Jones. This dude can run every route on the tree. Like he's running over running backs, safeties, defensive linemen. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's in front of Julio Jones. So his offense in itself, the passing game, I think it's great, but the running game, it's depressing. So I think you match up great against the Raiders secondary. I think this is a great matchup. I think the secondary, the receivers in the secondary for Raiders and the Falcons, that's going to be an amazing matchup for me personally. And quite honestly, man, I have very little confidence in our offensive coordinator and Dirk Cutter and I'm just going to be real right here. Like, you guys know anything about my channel, man? We nothing but the facts and the truth of the matter, and I don't think we're gonna come out with the win. Our game plan has sucked. Game planning for this team has sucked all year. This is the reason why we're 3-7. It's not because of a lack of talent, not because of a lack of a quarterback, receiver, running back, offensive line. The game planning for the coaching has been absolutely terrible. So I honestly think that the Raiders will end up coming out with the win. I have absolutely no confidence in this offense. I'm just going to be real. And it's in the coaching. Excuse me, the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel as though that Raheem Morris is doing just a bad job as Dan Quinn?
He's an extension of what Dan Quinn is. He's an extension of what Dan Quinn is, and what that is accountability. I mean, how do you as a coach call out your best player? You're talking about Matt Ryan. What has Matt Ryan done wrong in his career? He's led us to a Super Bowl. He's won an MVP. Julio Jones is the greatest receiver in the game today. Bar none, like I said, that's no disrespect to Nuke, but Julio is Julio. I mean, would you guys want Julio on your team?
Listen, it's been talks.
It's been talks
in the trade, right? Jay? It's been talks in the trade of that the Falcons looking to trade Julio Jones. The Raiders would have been one of those contenders to get him.
And that's what I mean. That's what I mean, man. Raheem is exactly what these guys get comfortable. Once they have a game plan, they see it works, they tend to go back to exactly what they want to do and not what's best for the team. And that's what that is an offense or on the defensive side. On the defensive side of the ball, let me just give you an example of what I mean by this. Defensive side of the ball, if we're playing aggressive, when we're getting sacks, and we're getting after the quarterback and whatnot, the coaching loves to go back. And this is the reason why we've blown so many leads. They go back to the soft cover 3 zone, and they just let a quarterback. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran. It doesn't matter if you Larry Holmes sitting on the bench, you know what I'm saying, coming out of retirement. It doesn't matter. You're going to throw for 250, 300 on this defense because they want to go back to that soft zone. It does not work in today's NFL. Today's NFL is for what? Adjustments. If you don't make adjustment in this game, in-game adjustments. If you're not making in-game adjustments in this current NFL, you're going to get smoked.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get smoked.
We've been saying about Paul Guntner all year with this defense. We've been saying it all year long with Paul Guntner in his defense that he does not make no adjustments against good offensive firepower. He just doesn't. And I'm ready for him to get the boot. I don't know about the rest of the Raider Nation, but I'm ready for him to get the boot. Like, stop kissing John Gruden's behind. John Gruden, it's time for you to let him go. I understand we brought in, 2 former Falcons, Takk McKinley and Vic Beasley.
Oh,
so we just brought them in. Vic Beasley is a possibility that he might play this Sunday. Takk McKinley got a groin injury, so he did pass his physical, so he is officially a Raider. So knowing that those 2 guys I think Vic Beasley was part of your Super Bowl run, right?
He was.
So how you feel knowing that they got rid of Vic? They didn't re-sign Vic Beasley. He did end up going to the Titans, then coming to us. And then how y'all feel about, y'all getting rid of Takk McKinley as well?
Well, I'm an unconventional Falcons fan. I never thought Vic Beasley was a terrible player. I thought, again, we go back to coaching. When coaching when they do not put players in the best position to succeed, to maximize their abilities. That's the key. Maximize their abilities, not what you see from a coaching standpoint. This is what coaching tends to do. They have a vision of what Vic Beasley is, and he wants Vic Beasley to be a defensive end. Vic Beasley is not a defensive end. Why are we playing him a defensive end?
Right.
He's a 3-4 outside linebacker. He can cover, he can rush the passer in passing situations, but he's not an every down defensive player. And this is the issue we've had with the Atlanta Falcons. We have so many guys playing in positions and roles that they shouldn't be playing in. So to be honest, I hope Vic Beasley comes and get a sack, because it's going to highlight once again the Falcons' terrible coaching.
Jay, I know you.
I want to say this though. Y'all beware of Tweety Bird. Tweety Bird, please beware of that dude. I'm just gonna. He's on IR for you guys right now. I know he failed the test, but Tweety Bird, look.
Why are you calling Tweety Bird? So warn us about that.
Tweet. That's all he does. He wants to tweet about what he wants to do. He want to tweet about what he's gonna do. It doesn't translate to the field. All he does is go to Twitter, go to Instagram, talk about what he's going to do, and then he goes to, I don't know if you guys saw the Minnesota Vikings game when we played the Minnesota Viking game, the first home opener, the season opener. But he came out and said 3 sacks easily. What did Minnesota do? They ran the ball directly at him, and he absolutely bombed that game. Bumped. Package is all mouth. Like, I wish the best for him, but I'm telling you guys, he's a very talented pass rusher. But when it comes down to maturity, he has a long ways to go. He has a long ways to go. He has, like I said, he has that pass rush ability. He definitely has the ability. Can't take that one. That's the reason why the Falcons took a chance on him, because of his rushing ability. But his issue has always been consistency and that shoulder. That's it.
Just like one of our guys said on Facebook, that sound like Trent Brown. Tweet. That's exactly how Trent Brown is. The guy is so talented, he can't stay off the COVID list.
Oh my God.
And he had a calf injury since week 1, and I just don't know with him. Like, you tweet a lot, but we don't see what 3 times out of the 10 games we played.
Exactly. Yeah. It's frustrating.
It is frustrating. Jay, I know you probably got some questions for him, man.
I got a few questions. So first off, welcome again. So what one thing that you had mentioned before is the running game for the Raiders, with the two-headed monster of Devontae Booker and Josh Jacobs. They're ranked 7th right now in the run game. What do you think what's the key to the Falcons stopping this really, really dynamic duo?
Say that again one more time.
What do you think is the key to the Falcons defense stopping Josh Jacobs and Devontae Booker?
Stay stopping those guys. Honestly, I don't think the Falcons have had many issues defensively. And stay with me when I say this. The Falcons defense has played quite well recently under Raheem Morris, and this is one of the reasons why I was optimistic about him becoming the coach of Atlanta, because he's actually done a great job turning the defense around. The defense is like they're one of the top run defend in the NFL. They're doing a good job stopping the run. The secondary, Isaiah Oliver, who struggled for the last couple of years, he's playing much better. Teams are not targeting him since he's really went into the slot. He's playing a lot of slot. AJ Terrell is one of the best young corners that I've seen. Like this dude, his confidence and his ability, his physicality, like this is something that you don't see in young corners, is physicality. I did a film breakdown on that, and he wants to tackle. He likes to hit. Like That's what you don't see from a lot of corners these days. Defensively, I don't think the Falcons will have a lot of issues. Playing the Saints, I know that's all about rhythm. The Falcons actually played the Saints quite well, but second half they kind of just the game got out of hand. The offense couldn't get in a rhythm, but the Saints, they're a very good team. One of the best play callers in the league with Sean Payton, but I don't think the Falcons will have many problems with Oakland defense. I truly believe that this will be either a shootout or it's going to be a close game.
Okay.
You're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a problem with Foye Oluokun. If Foye Oluokun is healthy, you guys are gonna have some problems with him. That dude is playing out of his freaking mind. I'm just warning you. Just pay attention. Don't worry about Debo. Don't worry about Deion Jones. Worry about Foye Oluokun. That dude is playing out of his freaking mind right now. Grady Jarrett is Grady Jarrett. You know what I'm saying?
Grady Jarrett's gonna play his game.
Mm-hmm. So don't worry about that. Like I honestly think this game scares me more than anything. Raiders are actually one of the teams I love to watch. Like from one of the best players that I like to watch. This goes back a while, but it's Howie Long. Howie Long is one of my all-time favorite defensive tackles. I love defensive tackles, and Howie Long is just he's just a great man off the field, excellent player on the field. But I don't think I don't think this game has the potential to be a close game as well as a shootout. I mean, you see what your quarterback Carr is doing. Carr is balling right now. He's balling. He's doing his thing. So it has the potential to be a shootout as well as a close game.
And I think the defense has hindered that. Some of the games, our offense didn't do much, but last week in the Kansas City Chiefs game, Carr did whatever he could in that game for us to win, and it just didn't turn out. Our defense, had a big blow, and we lost the game. But Jay, I know you probably have another question to rebuttal that or whatever.
Oh no, I definitely agree. I mean, right now, it looks like the Falcons are allowing, as far as rushing is concerned, they've allowed 243 yards to opponents. That's averaging about 4.4 yards, per carry. So with that being said, to kind of piggyback off of the original question, one of the things that John Gruden and this Raiders offense likes to do is they like to continually run the football, and just wear out those defensive lines, and win in the trenches. I mean, one of our offensive line is one of the best in the league. What do you think? What do you think it's gonna take for this defense to hold up in the long run? Because like you said, in that second half, that's really what separates, the winning team from the losing team is defensively is really who can hold up. You know what I mean? Who can bend but not break in those situations. So what do you think, is important for the Falcons defense to do to really hold up in that second half against, a bruising offense like this that continually grinds on the ground?
Well, this has been an issue for the Falcons for the past since Super Bowl. Is we've shored up the defensive line with Tyler Davidson. Grady Jarrett is Grady Jarrett, but with the signing of Dante Fowler, he's not getting the sack numbers, he's not getting the pressures, but he's excellent in the run defense part. He's been an excellent addition for us in that aspect. And I think that's something as Atlanta Falcons fans, this is something that they don't see a lot of. He crashes hard. I don't know if you guys remember the play. We played Detroit, and I believe it was a goal line stand. And he just smashed Adrian Peterson in the backfield on the goal line. And he's one of those players. He can read what the offensive line is doing.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of those defensive ends. You cannot fool him. He knows what he knows exactly what he's seeing. And the issue with the Atlanta Falcons defensive line, they have a lot of young guys like Tack McKinley, Vic Beasley. He got better as the time went on, but our defensive line, they do a poor job of reading what the offensive line is doing. So if the Falcons defensive ends can't read and key on what your tackles, your pulling guards are doing, it's going to be a long freaking day for the Falcons. So it really is, for me, you have to stop. You really have to have a game plan that attacks our edges. This is exactly what the Saints did. You go back and watch that. And if you guys have all 22, you can go back and watch that. But they kept using the power O, attacking our edges. And as long as the Falcons can, hold the edges, I think this is to be a great game, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was going to be edges. Right. Yeah, that was going to be my next question. You might have kind of answered it, but I was going to ask you about that. Those 8 sacks in that game against New Orleans, and kind of what your thoughts were on that, or are you worried that, because you went from, there was 2 sacks against Denver, 2 sacks for Carolina, 2 sacks for Detroit, but so it seemed like it came out of nowhere, just all of a sudden, you go from 2 sacks a game to 8. Are you worried about that, or do you feel like the Falcons are doing anything to remedy that?
As long as Dirk Cutter is an offensive play caller, you have the potential for that every single game. He is absolutely the worst offensive coordinator I've he just doesn't get it. And this goes back to the coaching. It goes back to coaching. This is one thing in this current NFL. These players are way too fast. They're big. These guys are like 300 running a 4.5. Well, how are you, 300 pounds running a 4.5, and you trying to run the same draw plays that you did in 1980? That's not going to work, Dirk. You can't fool these guys. These guys are too big, too fast to continuously do the exact same things. You have to adjust during the game, and that's the issue with the Falcons, Dirk Cutter. So you have to make those. You have to make those adjustments, man. So I'm worried about that.
You are worried about it? Yeah, I would be too. That's a lot of sacks in one game. And you can't really expect your quarterback to do much, when he gets sacked 8 times. But on the season though, Matt Ryan has been pretty good. He's got a passer rating of 94.2. He's averaging 7.7 yards per pass. And its completion rating is 65.7. That's definitely nothing.
He's always around 64, 65 every year.
Yeah, so he seems to be playing okay. So it sounds like what you're saying is that the offensive coaching is really what's keeping this team, and Matt. You got Matt Ryan, you got Julio Jones. You would think that would be a dangerous duo, but it doesn't seem to be that. It seems like they're kind of hanging in there, and doing okay. But what do you think they need to do to fix that on the offense? What changes should they make?
Game plan. Falcons have one of the seriously, it's all game planning. How can you game plan for Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley? Mm-hmm. Calvin Ridley is an absolute monster. He can run every route on the tree. This dude, Calvin Ridley he was at one point during the season. I think he was number 1 in yards. Mm-hmm. It's just Calvin Ridley. It wasn't Julio Jones. And you add to the equation a very explosive tight end and Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst is he's a problem. I hope you guys. I really truly hope that you have good enough linebackers to hold that guy, because if he gets the ball, if the Falcons decide that magically that they want to start running, throwing the ball to the tight ends, you will have a long freaking day. It's going to have a long day. So Julio Jones, there are some doubts whether or not he will play. But if he does, good luck. stopping him, along with Colin Ridley and Hayden Hurst. But yeah,
So we do have a few questions in the chat. Icy Nate did state that ask him about Darren Waller or Henry Ruggs. What does the Falcons defense will do with both of them? Or Henry Ruggs.
I'm more. I'm more worried about Waller than I am Henry Ruggs. I'm not worried about, like I said, you have two corners that has the ability to kind of stick with them. Isaiah Oliver has played much better since moving to the slot corner. And AJ Terrell, I honestly believe that he can match up with any receiver in the league. It's just a matter of our safeties. Our safeties have been incredibly inconsistent. Keanu Neal, he's never been a cover safety. Ricardo Allen is just too small. God bless him, but he's just too small. Doesn't have the foot speed, has the intelligence, but I'm more so worried about the tight end Waller than I am Henry Ruggs. I don't think the Falcons have ever let a receiver completely take over a game. Even if they did have a big game, he wasn't the main reason as to why they lost the game. So I'm not worried about. I'm really not worried about the big plays. Falcons, they don't necessarily give up a lot of big plays. It's just the big plays at the wrong time. That's been the biggest issue with the Falcons. They just give up plays at the wrong time. And as long as Waller, if we can kind of get Waller under control, and that's where I think 4-year-old Olakun is going to come in. And that's why I say you don't worry about Deion Jones. As long as you guys, keep Carr in the pocket, he'll be fine because he's not going to outrun Debo. He's not going to outrun 4-year-old Olakun. Those guys want a 4.3 or 4.4 respectively. Those guys are athletes. So as long as you keep Derek Carr in the pocket, untouched, use that running game, you'll be fine. But I'm more so worried about Waller than I am with Henry Ruggs.
I have to agree to that. I think I'll be more worried about Waller than Henry Ruggs, but you have to look at Aguilar. Aguilar has been having a great year with the Las Vegas Raiders. So I say, if you want to say Waller or Ruggs, I would switch out Ruggs and put Waller in Aguilar in there. But you got to look at it now that you have to see that he's getting a little bit more Hunter Renfrow involved. He's getting a little bit more Jones involved. So it's going to be a tough matchup for the Falcons secondary to try to keep up with, because Carr throws it to different receivers on every drive that we have. Is a different person scoring a touchdown each time we go down the field. So yeah, I think it'll be more of a Nelson Aguilar than Henry Ruggs in my
Aguilar has whipped. Look, that dude has spanked our behinds like every time he plays them. Like, he puts up big numbers against the Falcons. Like, he plays well against the Falcons. So I totally forgot about him, but I would definitely be worried about Aguilar more so than Henry Ruggs. That's for sure.
And we have a question from the Snake Sports Talk Show. He said, could we see the Falcons move on from Matt Ryan and Julio Jones?
In 2 years, I could say so. A lot of people just like, okay, they're not playing well, let's just get rid of them. Well, there's this thing called, I don't know if you guys actually know this, but it's this thing called a salary cap.
Yeah.
Dead cap money. Have you ever heard of that before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Matt Ryan, his number is somewhere of 49 million. Just this year. Next year it'll be 28, 30, some crazy number like that. Julio Jones is the exact same. He's around 28 million for next year. So unless you want to eat a lot of dead cap money and be paying, that money for the next 3 to 4 years. I mean, you want to try that? You guys want to do that? You want to take on that dead cap money?
See, that's the thing. We can't afford any more dead cap money or what we paid out in free agency this past year for the people that we brought in. So I don't think we can take on it, Jay. You think we can take on
that? No, I don't like throwing away money for nothing, man. It's bad enough we got to throw away money for Trent Brown right now. Like, we're paying this man to do nothing. He's the highest paid offensive lineman in the league. For what?
Mm-hmm. To play 3 games.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to get off on a tangent.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason why. That's the reason why I've killed any talk on my channel about Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields or any quarterback in the first round because of the dead cap money, not because I'm a Matt Ryan supporter. I'm a realist, man. You can't have a quarterback on your roster making over $30 million a year sitting on the bench because you want to draft Trevor Lawrence. Those guys, let's just say the Falcons have a top 5 pick. Well, there's a thing called, salary for a quarterback position. Mm-hmm. You're going to pay those guys somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 million plus just to be on the team. So you want to have over $60 million at one position, and one of those players aren't playing. Hell no. I'm just like, absolutely not. Ain't no way. Absolutely not.
So we got a few more other questions that we have. They said Ryan is 35 and on his way out. Do you think he's a future Hall of Famer?
I mean, can you prove a case that he's not?
Outside of a Super Bowl, you can't.
I mean, that's the easiest question that's the easy question.
I've been watching Matt Ryan since he was at St. Joe's Prep because I live in Philadelphia. So I've been watching Matt Ryan since St. Joe's Prep. So that guy's always been good, even in high school. And I used to follow him and report him in St. Joe's Prep. So yeah, I think he is a future Hall of Famer. He's
done everything you want. He's done everything that a quarterback has done outside of winning a Super Bowl. He's won MVP. He's won Offensive Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. He's won several. I don't know how many awards. How many quarterback awards is there? I guarantee Matt Ryan has won it. I guarantee he has it. The only thing that this guy has not done is win a Super Bowl. And if the defense makes a tackle on the goal line, you have a championship. Yep. So how can you not say he's one of the most clutch quarterbacks of all time? Joe Montana, past John Elway. How many quarterbacks you going to pass on the list and say he's not a feature? Seriously, I'm not a Matt Ryan. I'm a Matt Ryan lover. But again, this guy has done everything that you want in a quarterback. Oh no, one thing he hasn't done. He hasn't passed for 5,000 yards. That's the only thing. That's it. Mm-hmm.
I don't really think the 5,000 passing yard thing really matters to me anyway, in my opinion.
No, it doesn't.
Because the way y'all feel about Matt Ryan, only thing that Derek Carr has not won was MVP. For real. He would have won MVP in 2016 if he didn't break his leg.
Oh, I love Derek.
You ask this man to do whatever he needs to do on the football field. Yes, we have not won games. But Derek Carr threw for 4,000 passing yards and barely had no receivers. I don't know what else you need to ask for.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
That's accurate. He almost have almost damn near a 70% completion percentage. Damn near. So what else can you ask for him? I mean, Carr could be a future Hall of Famer. Mind you, Carr is probably one of the best quarterbacks that we ever had in the Raiders organization. But we have so many Raiders haters that does not
He's the Matt Ryan of the AFC. He's the Matt Ryan. He puts up numbers and he gets absolutely no respect whatsoever. They want the shiny nickels. They want guys who can run for the first down. They want guys who can, make no-look passes. They want guys who can, hit backflips on the field. That's what they want. Everybody wants the shiny guy, the new kid on the block. This is why everybody all fell in love with Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying? Even though Justin Fields threw 3 interceptions in college, I'm not going to bring that up. But everybody wants the new shiny nickel. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they want. So like it's nothing shiny or like nothing that jumps out when you look at Derek Carr. Like nothing that jumps out and say, okay, that guy's special. He just gets it done. What's wrong with that? I don't understand that. He gets the job done. What do you want from a quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
Inconsistency.
Everybody wants the next Patrick Mahomes or the next Lamar Jackson. Which Lamar Jackson is not really a good quarterback in my opinion. So I feel like Derek Carr. He's a good running back, but he's definitely not a better quarterback than Derek Carr. Absolutely not. I don't even think he's a better quarterback than Matt Ryan. It's a few. If you can, I don't know how he won MVP last year because the fact that they went 14-2 and still got kicked out after they had their bye week, one and done anyway. But you know, the NFL is about entertainment. If you see that,
it is.
They want quantity over quality. That's the problem with the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Brandon Boyd asks you, ask him who should the Raiders defense should be concerned with, Ridley or Julio Jones?
Well, you're gonna double Julio. I mean, Julio's gonna be Julio. I would not let Ridley, like honestly, I would focus more so on Calvin Ridley. Because Julio's gonna get double, sometimes even triple, you know, given the circumstance. Calvin Ridley, to me, hasn't become an elite receiver yet. He's a very good receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So like, in this game, I would be more so worried about Calvin Ridley because Julio Jones is dealing with that nagging hamstring issue. So there's quite as a possibility that you may not see a 100% Julio. You know, every single play he's going to come out. You may see him out, you know, a couple of series, you know, here and there, but I would definitely be more so worried about Calvin Ridley and Julio.
Okay, so Brandon Boyd asked another question too. He said, "How come the Falcons released Takk McKinley? Since the Falcons fans he follows the team, was Takk McKinley a cancer in the locker room?"
The good thing about the Atlanta Falcons locker room is that you will never hear anything about the locker room issues. Takk McKinley's issue has always been he can't stay his freaking behind off of Twitter. Stay off of social media. It's not your friend, okay? People will find some stuff from 5-10 years ago. You talk about somebody's grandmother, all right? You say something crazy about somebody's daddy, sister, brother. They will find it. So stay off of social media, and that's Tak's issue. So he's not a locker room problem, but his body language, it's just like you can tell when Takk isn't having a good game because he's on the bench, he's off to the side by himself, and he just looked like he's not engaged with the game. So that's Takk needs to grow up. It's not a lack of talent. He needs to grow up. That's his biggest issue.
Hopefully he does not have that issue with us because John Gruden would nip that in the bud. Chucky does not play that.
He doesn't. I love Chucky. I'm not gonna lie. I love Chuck, man. I think he's one of those coaches that, you know, I put in the category of Rex Ryan, you know, Don Martindale, those types of Wade Phillips. Like they do not put up with bull crap. Like if you're not on board with the team, bye.
Right.
Adios. I mean, you saw how fast you got rid of Khalil Mack. They got rid of Khalil Mack quick. So
wasn't for Khalil Mack, we wouldn't have Josh Jacobs. And I'm just being real. Mm-hmm. I'm just being real.
Yeah, so they got rid of Amari Cooper real quick too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
exactly.
Because Amari Cooper has an issue with, you know, pouting on the sideline and throwing a fit and all this other stuff, and they're like, nope, gotta go.
Absolutely.
So we got one last question for you because I know you have a show going on as well on your channel. And I did put the link in the chat. So anybody want to go over there and check that out, make sure y'all go subscribe to Mad Mike Sports. Definitely got some great Atlanta Falcons content over there. The last one is from Damian Hernandez. He said, "Do you think the Falcons' failures of the Super Bowl has something to do with the ownership, like the Detroit Lions?"
No, there's nothing like Arthur Blank. There's nothing Arthur Blank won't do for this organization. We've seen Rankin Smith, Taylor Smith, and those guys were the absolute worst. They let Deion Sanders walk for absolutely. We didn't trade him. We said, guess what, Deion? You made the Pro Bowl. You're the best defensive player in the league. Let's just not sign you. We're just going to let you walk. No. Arthur Blank would never do that. Never do that. So I'm not – it's not a matter of ownership, man. This team just – Arthur Blank believes in his guys so much, it actually, kind of hinders the team from success. He kept not Dan Quinn, but Thomas Dimitrov way too long. This guy has failed to produce a defensive player, a star in the first round since he's been here. Jamal Anderson, bust. Parade Jerry, a bust. I mean, you can go down the line over and over again. All the defensive players that we've drafted have been absolute busts in the first round. So, I mean, Desmond Trufant, he's not looking too good right now. I know you guys saw the game yesterday, and he was getting smoked. So, we've had he just trusts his. I think that's his issue, and a lot, Al Davis used to be the exact same way. He believed in his players, his coaches, his players so much, and it kind of hinders, kind of holds back the team. So I think that's what Arthur Blank is learning from owners. You got to learn when to let go. When things are bad, let go. Don't end up like Cincinnati and keep the quarterback, not the quarterback, but the head coach, Marvin Lewis, for 15 years with one playoff berth. You can't be doing stuff like that. You got to learn. You got to learn from it
like that, because that's terrible. That's so bad for the world, man. Like knowing that he tore, 2 ligaments in his knee and probably more. So, best of luck go out to him. Marcus85 said Favre Sander era ATL jersey, some of my favorite throwbacks. So you got some people in here, that remember those throwback days with the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm surprised y'all let Brett Favre and Deion Sanders walk. I just don't understand it, man. I just don't.
We let so many players go. I appreciate it, man. I truly appreciate it.
Absolutely. So give us your final prediction before you head out, because I know you got to go back over to your show. So give us your final prediction of this game on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It pains me to say this, but I just don't believe in our offensive coordinator. He's an absolute imbecile, man. Like, this dude just doesn't understand the concept of balance. And until he understands that concept of balance, we're going to continue to struggle on offense. We can look like that, we can look like the greatest show on turf in one game, and then the next game we score 9 points, and it's all because of the game plan. So I'm going to say this. I could see Oakland putting up 30. I'm going to say 30-20 Oakland.
So that's his actual final prediction, 30-20 Raiders over the Falcons, even though that he's a Falcons fan, but he's a realistic one. So it's nothing wrong with being realistic, even though if you think your team going to lose, you just never know. You just never know. But at the same time, Mike, I do want to thank you for coming on to the show. Really do appreciate it. I am going to check out your channel. I did put the link in the chat, and I did tag you in a community post. So if the nation wants to go over there and check out his content for the Atlanta Falcons, make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to the channel. I think you're almost at 5K, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I'm on the road to 5K, man. I'm knocking the door at 47. So I appreciate you guys for letting me on, man. Like I said, I've always admired Oakland. Jesus.
I still do it too.
I've always admired. I just love I love the swagger, man. I just love that Raider swagger, man. So I've always admired them. from the from Bo Jackson days. Like I've just always admired. So I appreciate you guys for letting me on, man. Again, man, you guys want to come check out, do a show with us, man, you're more than welcome. Like we want those channels, man. We open. We are the nation. We are the nation. It's all about the people. We're here to serve the people. Whatever the people want, that's what we try to give you.
Right.
So you guys can come over, check me out. I love to have you guys on, man. So that being said, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. We'll
Absolutely.
definitely link up. I do have you on Instagram, so I definitely will link up with you and have me and Jay on the show. It's definitely been a pleasure having you on, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right, so thank you, Mike, for being on the show. We really do appreciate that, man. How you feel about his analysis and talk about the Atlanta Falcons, Jay? Because I thought that was really good. Like he's being real of a realistic, Atlanta Falcons fan. Because I know, do you want to open up the phone lines as well too? We are in like the last half hour or so.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. Go ahead. I'll get this set up.
All right, so yeah, it definitely was good content from Mad Mike Sports. Make sure y'all go over and subscribe to his channel. It's called Mad Mike Sports as well. And just to let y'all know, while Jay is getting this set up have y'all call into the show. Oh, okay. So have us call into the show. Make sure we'll be having Black Friday. Black Friday is today, and you have until 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to go get your merch. 25% off. 25% off on all Spotlight Sports gear, Spotlight Sports Network gear, anything from the Spotlight Raiders Talk to My City, My Game to Mal Gooley, Key in the Building, Snake Sports Talk Show. And we're going to have some new stuff coming up there. We have cell phone cases. We have mugs. We have water bottles. It doesn't matter if you don't get a t-shirt or a hoodie, get a hat, get something of that nature. Make sure y'all go over to spotlightsportsgear.com and get it right now. 25% off on all merch, y'all. All merch. But y'all see it right here down at the bottom. If you do want to call into the show, it is 503-765-6807. Until we have people call, what is your prediction of this game, Jay? How do you feel like this game is going to go, knowing that we're going into Atlanta?
Really my biggest concern is their pass game. They're fifth in passing right in the league. Obviously with Julio Jones, that's a big concern, as far as our secondary. Our secondary did not look good last week. It was really frustrating. The fact that we were giving up those big chunk plays, especially over the middle. Let's get this call real quick.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a.
Hello. You are on the Spotlight Raiders Talk. What's going on, man?
Oh, hello.
Are you there?
Yeah. How's it going? This is Marcus, actually. Marcus 85. Marcus.
Hey, what's up, Marcus?
What's going on, Marcus?
Yeah, how's it going? So I couldn't shut up about their stadium, and I bring that up because I'm actually from California, and I went to Atlanta on business about 2 years ago, and it was during football season, and it just so happened that the Cowboys were in town that weekend, so I actually went to go catch a game. It was Amari Cooper's. If I remember right, he was traded mid-season, so it was his first game. Either way, I saw him in a Cowboy jersey, and I was booing the hell out of him. I was wearing my Marshawn Lynch jersey. But I guess my point was, it was just really cool to see a state-of-the-art stadium. Like, legit, I was looking at the stadium more than I was looking at the product on the field. And I say this all because I just come from California, and our stadiums are as old as dinosaurs. I mean, we have literal coliseums still. So, I don't know. It was just really cool to see a state-of-the-art stadium. It was really beautiful, and I can't wait to go to the Vegas one. We finally have a new shiny one here in LA. We can't go there yet, but I don't know. I guess I'm dragging us on, but big fan of the show, and I kind of wanted to break the ice and call this first time, and hopefully I want to call more after this time. So,
absolutely, man. Anytime that we got the lines open, you want to give us a call, definitely do so. It is really nice to have that shiny new stadium. Not only are we going to be able to play in the Vegas stadium at Allegiant, but we get to go visit, the LA stadium twice a year and play there.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's definitely nice. O.Co Stadium is, kind of a crap hole. And everybody knows that, it's got a lot of history and that sort of stuff and a lot of nostalgia, but we all know that it's just a crap hole.
Yeah, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm originally from San Diego. I live in LA at the moment, but I mean I grew up going to Qualcomm Stadium, the San Diego Chargers, and obviously seeing our Raiders. So I have firsthand experience, growing up with a dinosaur coliseum, and it deserves this, man. I guess that's my point. Is we deserve this new stadium. Man, if there's a fan base out there that deserves something new and shiny, that's not on the field. It's the stadium itself, and it's Raiders fans. So that's pretty much what I got, man. I'm just rambling on here. I kind of again just wanted to break the ice, and hopefully I'll just call more after this. So.
Cool, man. All right, man. We'll take care. We appreciate it.
Cool, and have a good weekend, guys.
All right, you too.
You too.
And just to let y'all know, we will be doing a post-game live right after the Atlanta Falcons game. So right after that, we're going to have the live call-in show, so y'all can call up and rant whatever happens in this game. Y'all can call up and speak. So if y'all do want to call up now, 503-765-6807 is the Spotlight Raiders Talk. I know you want to go back into what you were saying for your prediction because I know you got a phone call.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so that's the biggest thing I'm worried about. If we can tighten up in our secondary, which I believe we will, we'll be able to do it. I'm predicting the Raiders will win. We're gonna win. I'm thinking my prediction is gonna be 34-21. That's my prediction.
I think that we have the same firepower on offense as the Dallas Cowboys, knowing that they don't have Dak Prescott. But I feel like we have the offensive firepower to put up a little bit more than 34. I think we could put up at least 39 to a 40 burger on this Atlanta Falcons team. So I'm going 40-27. 40-27 Raiders. I feel like if they don't really have knowing them not really having a running game, they carried the ball 14 times last week. That's it. Yeah. So we don't really have to bring, 8 or 9 in a box to stop the run because they don't have a running back that is a threat to our front seven. So I think that if we can just go with dropping back and making sure we getting these receivers like a Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, we just don't know who else might step up with the Hayden Hurst at tight end. I really think that we can stop this offense. I know Matt Ryan is good. Julio Jones, one of the best receivers in the game. Calvin Ridley is getting up there. He's ascending every single week, but I feel like since we don't have to, probably we won't have to, blitz as much either because they gave up 8 sacks. So this offensive line is pretty questionable. I really think that we could get some defensive turnovers and some of them might just turn into points. So I'm saying 40-27 Raiders. How y'all feeling in the chat? Make sure y'all put y'all in the chat here. I know it's Friday night. I know it's Black Friday. A lot of people probably not on right now, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. We was able to get through most of the show having Mad Mike Sports on here from the Atlanta Falcons. But is there any bold predictions that you see in this game at 1:00 against the Atlanta Falcons? Any bold predictions you got?
Bold prediction. Bold prediction. Oh man, that's a good question. I haven't really thought about it, but if I had to say one bold prediction, I'm gonna say Max Crosby ends the game with. Okay, so if Vic Beasley plays, they're going to split 2 and 2 for sacks. Max Crosby will get 2. Vic Beasley will get 2. If Vic Beasley doesn't play, I'm saying Max Crosby is going to have 4 sacks on the game.
Max Crosby 4 sacks.
Yep.
Whew.
But if Vic Beasley plays, he's going to split the load with him, and then he'll be 2 and 2.
Okay, so I'm feeling optimistic with the defensive line as well. I feel like Max Crosby will have. This is for the defensive bowl prediction. In my prediction, I feel like Max Crosby will have 2 sacks and an interception for a touchdown.
Ooh, Max Crosby a sack and a pick 6, huh?
Yes, if JJ Watt can do it on Matt Stafford, I feel like Max Crosby can do it on Matt Ryan.
You know, it's interesting. I have seen them drop Max back into coverage a few times. It's weird to see.
Did it too.
Yeah, it's weird to see, but they do that, so it's possible.
So Juan Ortiz says, what about Josh Jacobs with the hip injury? He did have a hip injury. He was, I think it was full. Did we say full in practice? If I'm not mistaken, let me go back and check real quick. But I think he was full participant in practice today. Let me go back. Josh Jacobs. Actually, he was limited today, but as of right now, Josh Jacobs is not listed as questionable. There's nothing against his game status right now, but he was limited in today's practice when it comes to Josh Jacobs. What about Trent Brown? Is he going to be in, or they say? Well, I don't see Trent Brown on the injury report as of right now. We don't see Trent Brown on the injury report, so hopefully we can get him back, but I'm not going to guarantee and say, yes, we're going to get him back, because he could be not on the injury list and then he does not play on Sunday. That's the thing that we get with Trent Brown every single week if he's not on the COVID-19 list.
And he's on the injured reserve list right now, isn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
Who? Trent Brown?
Yeah.
I think he is on the injured reserve list, if I'm not mistaken. I think he is.
Yeah, because I haven't seen him. If he is on the injured reserve list, which I believe it's been a while, so I can't remember if they put him on the injured reserve list. I think they did. But if they did, he's not. He hasn't been reactivated or taken off of the injured reserve list. So my guess is that if that doesn't happen, I mean, it's only Friday, so it could still happen tomorrow.
All right, so we do have a caller coming in.
Call from
Robert.
To accept, press 1. To send a...
Hey, what's up, Robert? You are on the show. What's up, man?
What's up, man? What's going on? Not much. I just called in really quick. Just got done with the workout, so just chilling. What about y'all?
Hey, man, just, talking about sports, man, doing what we do.
Yep.
Yeah, we get ready for this Raiders game this
I like the
weekend,
bold
man.
prediction 4 sacks. I think that's something they could definitely do. You saw against the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
You saw with the Saints, he blew Matt Ryan up. Matt Ryan's not a runner. He's going to stand in that pocket and look for someone called Julio Jones or Calvin Ridley. And that's something we got to look for. If we get pressure to him, we will win this game. And Todd Gurley's out. That's something that we don't got to worry about. He's been all right. He's been pretty good. But that's just one more thing we got to look for. Now our game plan was probably to try to stop the offense with that probably Todd Gurley inside the red zone. But now we got to look at seeing the targets out in the corners. Julio Jones and Calvin really got to stop them. But this is something that we got to go off. We got to look at Nelson Aguilar. We got to look at Darren Waller. I think Darren Waller. You guys are thinking about bold prediction. I think Darren Waller gets 3 touchdowns. I'm going to just keep it 100%. You saw what he did against the Saints. If you guys are talking about bold predictions, I think on the offense, I think Darren Waller might get 2-3 touchdowns.
Okay. Yeah. No, I can dig it. I can dig it. That is yeah. I can definitely see that happening. And this is one of those games where because of their struggles in the run game, this is one of those games where the defense can pin their ears back, and that defensive line, just go straight after Matt Ryan. And I'm telling you, man, Max Crosby he's gonna feast, on Sunday.
Dude, yeah, he's perfect replacement for that dude called Khalil Mack. And looking at our offense right now, we're looking at just gunning it downfield. Looking at these, we need to get Henry Ruggs in the game. If we get him going, it's gonna be hard to stop. We get those big downfield, those 60-yard plays, those 40-yard plays. It's just something that I don't think the Falcons can really stop. You can't. It's kind of like that Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes thing. If you get those big chunk plays, that's how you win games. Getting Waller. Waller's one of the most. He's in my opinion, he's right there with Travis Kelce, because you got to look at it. Kelce and Mahomes is going to have that same chemistry. And Kelce's been in the game a lot longer than Darren Waller, so Darren Waller has so much more potential. But just looking at his touchdown ratios, I think he might have a huge game. And against the Saints, that was probably the reason we won, is because the amount of catches, the yards after catch. He was just going off.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, man. Well, we appreciate the call, man. And we'll book it, man. Darren Waller, 3 touchdowns. That's your bold prediction.
Yep. I'll be waiting to see those 4 sacks from Crosby too.
Absolutely, man. All right, take care, man.
So shout out to Robert for calling in. If anybody else want to call in, we do have a couple more minutes before we end the show. So if you do want to call in and talk to us, we're here, man. We're here. So John, I'm just going to calm down real quick. I got to run to the restroom. So
no worries, man. I'm gonna go to the chat here real quick. BL says they've been posting a hip injury on Josh Jacobs since he came into the league. He pretty much stays on the injured list. He's one of those running backs that just gets banged up a lot. He's a physical running back. So he's always going to have a bump and a bruise, but that doesn't mean he's not going to go. Really, unless he's deemed out right before the game, you pretty much can assume he's going to play. It's going to go right up to game day with him, because he's one of those types of running backs that will play even when he's a little banged up, and he always kind of is. So, let's see. Juan Ortiz, Larry Fleming says Juan Ortiz, I believe he can go with a heavy dose of Booker. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. with Booker, if Josh Jacobs is a little banged up, he can still play, but they'll just spell him a little bit with Devin, Devin Booker, Devontae Booker. So it definitely is not cause for concern. Bold prediction from Brandon Boyd. He says Corey Littleton will have the best game for the Raiders this Sunday. It's a possibility. There is a possibility that not having Corey Littleton last week, against this team, you could definitely, with Cleve Farrell being gone, there's a possibility that him being gone may have affected the game. I don't really think so. I'm not big on Corey Littleton. Not a big fan of his right now. He's not been the cover guy that we want him to be. Perhaps Vic Beasley being brought in will help in that category, but we'll just have to see. Let's see.
What's going on, Colton Henry? What's up, man? Nap God, what's going on, man?
So Nap God says, "What's good? Carr close to 400 passing yards this game." Okay, I can see that, man. This defense is not. I think they're ranked. They're worse than we are right now on defense.
They're just dead last. Yeah,
they're 27th in defense right now. I'm not super concerned about their defense and our offense. They've got corners and stuff like that. They've got guys in the middle, but we're so multidimensional on this offense. I'm not super concerned about it. I think we can put up big numbers on them. Like I said, I'm saying 34, or excuse me, did I say 31 or 34? No, I said 34.
Hey, Nap guy said they're 30th.
According to NFL.com, they're 27th right now. So, according to the NFL rankings, league rankings.
Yeah, NFL.com and their rankings. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that because the disrespect they give to the Raiders on those rankings. I'm going to just say. So Greg has a question, and he says, would you start Devontae Booker over Josh Jacobs for fantasy football? That's a tough one because they want to split the carries due to Josh Jacobs' hip injury. Devontae Booker is a good start, but I don't know if I just don't know because Josh Jacobs is the starter. It depends on how they split the carries. We all know Josh Jacobs is going to get his at some point. He's going to get hit at some point in the game, especially if we're up. If we got to run the clock out and get the time of possession, they're going to go with Josh Jacobs over Booker, in my opinion. I think you should start Jacobs. Devontae Booker is going to get his carries, but he's not going to get a workload to a point where he's going to get you 20 points in fantasy. So I say go with Josh Jacobs. What you think, Jay?
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely start Josh Jacobs. Like I said, unless right before the game they say Josh Jacobs is out, you can pretty much assume he's going to be in. They're not. I kind of talked about it a little bit while you were gone. They're not going to take him out unless he absolutely 100% like has an injury or he's banged up to the point where it can be exacerbated. Josh Jacobs is always going to play a little banged up. So you can fully expect, like I said, unless they come out right before the game and say he's out, you can fully expect he's going to be a full go. So, and he's going to start.
Oh, they said Nebgot was saying they 30th in passing.
Oh, okay. 30th
in passing. Oh, so if that's the case, then our receiver should go off. If that's the case, we should have no drop balls. None.
Yeah.
Michael James said we should have beaten KC by 3 scores. Atlanta's going to pay. I think Atlanta's going to pay. I think Atlanta's going to pay for it. I feel like Derek Carr has something to prove. I mean, I think he always got something to prove in each and every game. Because if he does bad, here come the Carr fans. Oh, Derek Carr this. Oh, Derek Carr that. Whatever. Derek Carr numbers does not lie for himself. He's going to do the damn thing, in my opinion. Marcus 85 says always start your studs. Greg says, should we rest Josh Jacobs for 2 weeks and come out strong against him with the Colts, Chargers, and Dolphins? What you think about that? I don't think we should, though.
No, I don't. I mean, I'll tell you like this. You'll see it, and we've seen it before where, we'll be watching a game. We've talked about it during the game. Because by the way, guys, we do stream all the games live. Well, we don't stream them, but we have the live audio and we do a play-by-play and live react. But we've talked about it before. We'll be sitting there, and a couple of drives go by and we're like, has anybody seen Josh Jacobs? So what they do, the good thing about having a guy like Booker and a guy like Jalen Richard is that you can use those guys to spell Josh Jacobs. So what they're going to do is they're going to start him. He's going to get the majority of the carries, but when he needs to rest, he's going to rest. So they're going to rest him as much as possible in a game and have those guys come in and kind of fill in for him. So I don't think that they're ever going to like sit him or not have him play at all. But you will see there'll be spells where he won't be in there. And it's because it's not necessarily scheme. It's because they're trying to rest him and keep him from getting, too tired and too banged up. Again, that's the great thing about having running back by committee, where you got guys that can carry the load, and you don't have to run the same guy over and over and over and over and over and over again. So by the time you get to the end of the season in the playoffs, he's just so banged up and tired that, he's just got nothing left. So.
Yeah, I have to agree. I feel like knowing that even though that we do have a Jalen Richard there too, and a Theo Riddick that, that's back and forth from the active roster and the practice squad, it really helps out Josh Jacobs if he does have this hip injury. Theo Riddick is almost around the same size as Josh Jacobs, just a little bit taller than Josh Jacobs. So he's a big guy. Devontae Booker definitely has been playing very exceptional this year, playing his role. You see what he did in the Denver game. The Denver game, he was just phenomenal in that game, getting 2 touchdowns. So it does take a lot of load off of Josh Jacobs, knowing that Josh Jacobs was just our number 1 running back, and he was hurt, and he could not finish the year. I think he'll be able to finish the year with us, knowing that we do have running backs by committee.
Yeah, and you also got Alec Ingold as well. A fullback that can definitely run the ball, especially on those short yardage plays where where guys are expecting a run. So they're going to stack the box, or they're going to put, multiple guys on the running back. You got a guy like Alec Ingold that you can hand the rock to, and he can pound it and get in there, get into the end zone, or get the first down, or whatever the case may be. And you don't have to put Josh Jacobs in those situations. You can spell him in some of those situations where he's not, some of those higher injury, possibility plays. So.
Yeah, so make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all go over subscribe to My City, My Game feature Raider J 77. The link is in the description. I did put the link in the description, so make sure y'all go over and subscribe to his channel. He's trying to get to 200 subscribers so he could write a rap for y'all. So that is the challenge for him to get to 200 subscribers. So Greg says again, if the Raiders win, let me see. So if the Raiders win out before the Broncos game, we could rest our starters before the playoffs. I'd rather hope backups can pull out a wins against the Donkeys. How do you feel? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't guarantee a playoff spot even with me beating the Donkeys first. I think we should play everybody to a point. Only person I say don't play, do not play Derek Carr in week 17 if we know we got a playoff spot.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Do not play Derek Carr. Jack Del Rio did that dumb crap and lost him his job, and Derek Carr broke his leg. No.
Mm-hmm.
If we had the playoff spot locked already, only person you should not play is Derek Carr.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, that's the only guy that you should not play.
We're not.
I mean, I would say, don't play Derek Carr. Maybe not play Josh Jacobs, maybe let, Devontae Booker, go in there and be the starter of that game. Or, even a Jalen Richard be the starter of that game. You could always bring up, what's his name? You just said his name a minute ago, and I don't know why I can't think of it. The other running back we have, Theo Riddick. Yeah. Bring a Theo Riddick up from the practice squad and do that. But other than that, yeah, like there's not a whole lot of guys I would really be super concerned about, as far as sitting them, maybe Waller, maybe you set Waller in that game. And because we've got good depth at the tight end position. So yeah, if you have a playoff spot locked up, your last game or your last two games, there's really no reason to play those guys. Save them, let them. But there's a double-edged sword there too. You don't want to sit and rest guys for too long, because if you do that, then they get out of football shape, and they get out of rhythm and stuff like that. So if it's that last game, I would say do that. But I wouldn't do it more than one game. It's just my opinion. Don't go more than 1 week.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it more than 1 week. I say they'll play week 16 and set out your starters in week 17, especially if it's officially locked. If it's something that we're trying to struggle to get in, then no. I definitely disagree about that. Knowing that it's going to be 7 teams this year, 7 to 8 teams this year in the playoffs, so it's going to be difficult. So we definitely going to need at least that one game, and we may have to make sure it's locked for me. Michael James said Ingold is still hurt. I hold my breath every snaps he takes. Well, he's I think he wasn't listed as anything, if I'm not mistaken. I think he wasn't listed at anything. He was limited in practice, but I think Alec Ingold, he's going to get better. He's going to get healthy once the season rolls on. Thank you, Robert, so much for the $1.99 donation. We really do appreciate you, brother. Let's go Raiders 40-20 final. I see y'all Sunday. Absolutely, man. That was my score. I think mine was 40-27. I got 40-27 Raiders over the Atlanta Falcons. Why talk the playoffs when we have the Falcons to worry about 1 week at a time and cross that bridge when it comes to it? It was a question that we were asking COA. It was a question that we were answering about the playoffs, just in case if we did make the playoffs. I know it's one game at a time. We focus on the Falcons, but it was a question that somebody said in the chat. If you look up earlier in the chat, somebody did ask a question: if we did make the playoffs, should we rest our players if we did make the playoffs, and we said only time we rest our players if the Raiders are officially locked in, we don't play week 17. We don't play our starters week 17. That's all we were saying.
Yep.
Nap God says Foster is dope. Yeah, I think he needs more touches.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, what's the situation with Tack? From what I'm hearing, that Tat McKinley has a groin injury and he's going to be out the next 3 games. He did pass his physical. That's the news that came out. But he has a groin injury that's going to have him out for 3 weeks. So we won't have him for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's on the injured reserve list.
Right, he's on the injured reserve list for the next 3 weeks. And if we do get into the playoffs, we will have him for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are you guys concerned with all about Harry Azrek on the Falcons? Dude is a problem. IMO. I don't even know who that is.
I don't know. I'll look it up and answer that in a minute.
Yeah, who is that guy? Like, I don't know. I haven't even heard of him because only people that I'm really worried about in this game, because there's no running game. Todd Gurley is out. So I'm not really worried and concerned about the running game. But the passing game, I am worried about Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Hayden Hurst. I don't know who Harry is, what's his numbers and stuff of that nature. So I really don't know. I really don't know when it comes to that. But Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones and Hayden Hurst is my three top priorities when it comes to the passing game with these Raiders, because we have not defended the pass very well this year. Yes, we do have an interception. Yes, we do have some turnovers, but when it matters, that's where my concern comes in for this Raiders team, in my opinion. So we waiting for Jay to do that and see who this guy is. Andy, he has a groin injury. William says a little premature to be talking playoffs and definitely premature to be talking resting players. It is pretty premature. It is, but it was a question that was asked in the chat and we answered it. So it was a question just in case. If we,
I don't know. Go ahead.
I don't know if it's premature, but I just feel like if the question was asked in the chat, us as analysts have to talk about it. Like we said before, if we have the playoffs locked up and we do what we're supposed to do in this Falcons game, in the Colts game, in the Miami game, if we do what we're supposed to do in these games, yeah, they hypothetical questions. They're very hypothetical questions. We're not saying, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl, screw all that. No, we're just answering the question. It's hypothetical. But if, with a big capital IF, if we have a lock in the playoffs, we should be resting in week 17. That's all we were saying. Nothing big, nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, and I don't know why I don't know why people are so afraid to talk about stuff like that. I mean, like, it's not what's the harm? I mean, so you get your hopes up and you get disappointed. I mean, talking about it's a real possibility. Any given Sunday, any team can make it. There's teams that are going to be in the playoffs that have only won 4 games this season. Because they're in a division that is not very good. And will they do anything in the playoffs? Who freaking knows? Who expected the Titans to beat the Ravens last season? Who expected that in the playoffs? Nobody expected that. So I don't see why it's a problem if we're talking about it. Nobody is sitting here saying that it's going to happen absolutely positively. But then again, you also have crazy hot takes and bold predictions and stuff like that. So they're called bold predictions for a reason. I don't see why it's a problem to talk about it. I don't think people should shy away from discussing it. I don't think analysts should shy away from discussing it. I don't think fans should shy away from discussing it. You're a fan of the team, so hope for the best and talk about what the possibilities are. You know what I mean? And stop being so dang negative all the time. That's all I'm saying.
This is the Raider Nation for you, bro. I don't know how you not notice by now, but you know how they get, man. You know exactly how they get.
Don't gotta be fake, but don't be
realistic as well.
Yeah.
Who is Howie Felcherbush? Who is these guys that he's talking about?
All right, I'm looking right now. I'm assuming this is a defensive player. What was that guy's name? Harry Azrak on the
Yeah.
Falcons. I don't even what position does he play? Let's see.
I don't
See if he pops up on my list here.
Let me see this question again. Howie Felcherbush? I guess this is I think this is a troll.
Yeah, because I don't see a Harry Azrak.
He must not be a Falcon. I'm skipping over that. Michael James said, which Falcons defensive players concerns you? I think the only people that really concerns me when it comes to I think Deion Jones is a good corner, in my opinion. I think Deion Jones is one of those guys. Grady Jarrett on the defensive line. That's a pretty good concern about me. So, I mean, there's not really too many defensive players that really concern me for our offense. Our offense was able to go up against some of the best defenses and hold their own. So, what you think? What you think?
Sorry, real quick. I don't get the joke. Apparently, Harry Azrak, that doesn't make any sense to me. But okay.
Harry Azcrack, dude trolling.
But it doesn't. There's no k in it. Harry Azrak. There's no C in there. There's no C or K.
I think Nap God is being a smarty. He's being a smarty. He's trolling
anyway. Anyhow, all right. Okay. So what was your question? Sorry.
So the question was, which Falcons defensive players concerns you going into Sunday?
The Falcons player that concerns me is I'm concerned about Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, and Hayden or Calvin Ridley, excuse me, not Hayden Hurst. Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, and Matt Ryan.
Players that concern you? Any defensive, any Falcons defensive players?
Defensive players that concern me. The defensive player that concerns me, let's see. Probably, I mean, Keanu Neal is pretty good. He's got a lot of tackles on the season. Obviously, Deion Jones has got, a few sacks. So does Grady Jarrett. I mean, those guys can definitely get to the quarterback. Dante Fowler can get to the quarterback. But again, like when it comes to our offensive line, we hold up against the best. I mean, look how we played against the Saints. The Saints had 8 sacks on the Falcons last week. How many did they have on us? None.
Right. None.
So I'm not super concerned about, about this defense. I'm just not. There's not really one, there's really not one player. I mean, we're so dynamic on this. This offense is no joke, y'all. I'm telling you, this offense is no joke. That's not coming from a Raiders fan. That's coming from somebody that knows the game of football. Mm-hmm. This offense is so multifaceted. What do? The run game, tight end, wide receiver, like Derek Carr will use his legs to extend the play. Like,
right.
I'm just not super concerned about this defense. I'm not. They're not good enough for me to be worried about it. Now you put this offense in front of some of these the Colts game, then I'll be a little bit more concerned. I'm a little bit more concerned about the Colts defense than I am about the Falcons defense. So that's just my opinion. There's not really one person on defense that I'm super concerned is going to wreck this game for us. They just don't have a playmaker like that right now.
So Neb God said we're going to the playoffs. What dude talk about LOL speaking into existence? Matt 702 said wildcard teams had made the Super Bowl and the Raiders was the first to do it. Then we have Greg said, I joked with my friend of mine that the Washington football team had a chance of being in the postseason, and I was talking the truth like he saw yesterday. That's another fact. B. Al says, it's not a jinx talking. Keep the Nation family believe. Exactly. We just got to keep the faith, man. The more that we keep the faith, the more it will happen. We got to get healthy and stay healthy first. Then sky's the limit, including Super Bowl talk. And I think we're going to be very, very healthy going into this Sunday's game. It's not really too many people that's questionable. We only have 2 players questionable according to the injury report. Everybody else don't have a game status, so that is good going into Atlanta in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, like I said, my only main concern is that our defense plays solid. Everybody does their job, because if they don't, I mean, we're talking about Julio Jones, who's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Any Raiders fan, and I'm talking to y'all, any Raiders fan that says that they would not give up, quite a bit to have Julio Jones on our team is lying to themselves. The dude is for real. You know what I mean? He is, he's no joke. And then Matt Ryan can sling the rock. Yes, he has to have a clean pocket and all that kind of stuff. He's not going to scramble. But if you leave him unprotected, if you play this game, if this defense plays this game like they did last week, and and leave him with a clean pocket, and don't cover Julio Jones and leave him open like they did Travis Kelce, like it's over, man. We can put up points. They're going to be able to put up points, and that's going to make it really, really difficult to keep a lead and stay in this game, against these guys. I mean, they're ranked 5th in passing for a reason. Like, it's not a joke. This isn't a give me game. Our defense has to play well. That's the realistic thing about this is if we don't do what we're supposed to do on defense, there's no pass rush. Our corners are, leaving their assignment, the zone defense, guys aren't where they're supposed to be and covering who they're supposed to cover. I'm talking about you, Jonathan Abram. You need to be where you're supposed to be and not leave guys because you're looking for a tackle. Like, they will torch us with this in the pass game all day long. So that's just my opinion.
So I think Shindo says, build a nice lead, play good defense, keep our players healthy for the next game. That's a fact. This game will be cake. Nap God, I would have to disagree. I'm not looking over any team, in my personal opinion. Not looking over no team. I'm not.
Yeah, no team is cake. Not even the Jets.
Right. Not even the Jets. And knowing that we said that last year, we thought that was an easy win last year. And look how we turned out.
Whew, that was rough.
I still feel that cold breeze and being in the rain in that game. I still feel it in my bones. Jones nor Ryan ain't going to do anything on this Las Vegas Raiders defense. I have to disagree. This defense has not been the best for us. It's been times the offense put us in position to win and the defense has failed us, and vice versa. It's sometimes that the defense put us in position to win the game and we fail the defense. It's been vice versa all year long. So I have to disagree with this. I feel like Ryan and Jones could probably do something. Mind you, if they put Trayvon Mullen on Julio Jones, then you're going to see Arnett on Calvin Ridley. That's what you're going to see. But if you try to put Damon Arnett on Julio Jones, he's a rookie, they might go try to exploit that. I mean, Damon Arnett is good. Don't get me wrong. But Julio Jones is a one-of-a-kind wide receiver that we can't overlook.
Mm-hmm.
We can't overlook it.
And if they overlook this team and this offense, we're gonna lose the game. Plain and simple. No team can be overlooked. You gotta play like you're playing, like you're playing the Chiefs or the Steelers or the Packers or any other one of those teams. You have to.
All right, so BL says, I'm more worried with the Jets and Dolphins than the Falcons. I think the Jets and the Dolphins is going to be a trap game. I really feel like this Jets game is going to be a trap game, knowing that we lost to them last year. And I know that we're a better team than we were last year, but it's just something about the Raiders versus the Jets. It's always something. It's always something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Marcus 85, better get him burnt now than January IMO. William Merchant said, let's not cap on Abram too much. Someone forgot to stunt. The stunt would have contained Mahomes. I understand that part of it, but if you look at that play over and over and over again from the Kansas City Chiefs game, where were the linebackers? I'm still trying to figure out this situation. Abram would have never had to come up and leave Kelsey wide open if we had linebackers in the middle of the field or a QB spy. I've been saying this.
Mm-hmm. But think about it though. Like, how would he have gotten a first down? Maybe it's a possibility he would have gotten a first down, but better a first down than a touchdown. Like, at least you're alive to fight some more and get some more time off the clock.
Right.
Hold them to a field goal. And then you go into overtime, and if we win the coin toss, we were scoring on just about every drive. You know what I mean? So you win the coin toss, you go down, score a touchdown, game over. You don't win the coin toss, you got to go back out there, but at least you live to fight on. But that sealed the game right then and there.
Right.
You know what I mean? There was very little probability that we were going to score a touchdown, because that's what we had to have. We couldn't kick a field goal. We had to score a touchdown. There was very little probability that was going to happen with 35 seconds left on the clock. I don't care how good your defense or your offense is, or how good your wide receivers are, or your quarterback. 35 seconds to run the length of the field is a tall order, unless you get lucky and you throw a bomb up and somebody happens to go up and get it. Like, but those, anybody will tell you that those plays, like, the media wants to hype them up and the media wants to be like, oh, it was so great. Most of that is luck, man. Most of the game of football is just right place at the right time. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. All these guys get paid the same amount for a reason. They all get paid to do this job because they're all just about as good as the next. There's some guys that separate themselves from the rest of the pack, but there's only a handful of those guys. So when it comes right down to it, the probability was very little. So my problem with Jonathan Abram is that you put your team in a position to where they were most likely going to lose, and because you did that, because you were worried about Patrick Mahomes and left your assignment, you blew it for us. I would rather have Patrick Mahomes run for a first down, because guys are going to get on him. They're not going to let him go. I've seen the Condor run from one side of the field to the other side of the field and get a tackle. You know what I mean? Coming backfield and come all the way around into the other side and tackle the running back. I've seen him do it. The dude is not slow. So somebody would have got to Mahomes eventually. He would not have run for a touchdown. But Jonathan Abram, you let that touchdown happen. And that was because you left your assignment. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. So I'll dump on him all day long, because that cost us the game. That was a game-winning touchdown, period. Had there been 5 minutes on the clock, there would have been a different situation. But anyway, my rant is over. I'm sorry.
All right, so they said they think Trent is going to see the field this week. I don't know. I'm just going to put a big old question mark.
And real quick, sorry, William Merchant, I'm not saying that you were wrong by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not. I'm defending my point of view. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I definitely think that there's obviously was, somebody wasn't, whether it be linebackers or linemen, somebody missed something somewhere. To not have somebody, covering Patrick Mahomes and make sure he wasn't going to run out of the pocket. I totally get that, man. Definitely get that. My thing was just with Abram, so I'm not saying you were wrong. I'm just defending, the fact that I'm pissed off at Jonathan Abram.
So all he really did was he went into his spot. His spot was Travis Kelce, and he ended up going up, for going up to get Patrick Mahomes, and left his assignment.
Yeah, he left his own.
That happened Sunday Night Football. This weekend is the Atlanta Falcons. I know Abram took a lot of heat from that, but it's time for them to move forward. We got to move forward. We can't take it back. That's what it is, you know. Danny Swirls, thank you, Danny Swirls, for being on here. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Renzo, what's going on, man? What's up? Not Raiders related, but he said, what do you guys think about the Undertaker farewell retirement of his 30-year career? It's a very exceptional career as it's the phenom at the end of the day. I know this is not a Raiders question, but the Undertaker was just that guy. I grew up watching the Undertaker. I was a little kid when he first came out. I was scared to death of him. But he was he's one of the greatest, man. Outside of, I put Shawn Michaels first, then I put Undertaker, just in my opinion, because I thought Shawn Michaels was more flamboyant and more high risking, but Undertaker could work with anybody in the business. So yeah, he's going to be missed. He's going to be missed at WrestleManias now. He's definitely going to be missed.
Most definitely.
All right. So also happy late Thanksgiving. Thank you, Renzo. We really do appreciate that. Done fam. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you. We had a great Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
And how about your Black Friday, guys? So speaking of Black Friday, if you do go to spotlightsportsgear.com or you go to spotlightsportsnetwork.com, hit the merch tab, you can go over to our merch website and get 25% off on all Spotlight Sports Network merch from every person that you like, from myself, from the Spotlight Raiders Talk, got My City, My Game, you have Key in the Building, you have the Ghoulie Zone, Snake Sports Talk Show, EJ Bryant. We have so many people on the Spotlight Sports Network that have merch. Make sure you go over there and support. All proceeds go back into the channel due to the fact that we want to give you all the best quality that we can on the Spotlight Sports Network and on the Spotlight Raiders Talk. So this money is not really going into our pockets. It's going in to give y'all the best quality content that we can.
Absolutely. And speaking of merch and that sort, I know that we are talking about having a giveaway coming up for the Spotlight Sports Network channel. So definitely, if you have not already, you're going to want to subscribe to that channel. You're going to want to hit the notification bell because we're going to put out a video talking about the giveaway that we're going to be doing. And in order for that giveaway to happen for you, two of the things is you have to be subscribed to that channel, and you have to have the notification bell hit, because we're going to be putting that out as a video, and you won't know what else to do without getting or taking a look at that video. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell. Same goes for my channel, My City, My Game. Definitely go over there. I'm going to be doing a giveaway when I get to 500 subscribers. So go hit the subscribe and notification bell, because I will have a video coming out shortly with the details of that giveaway as well. And I don't know, Dee, do you have one going on for?
In December, I might have a if I can get the 4,000 subscribers, I would do a 4,000 subscriber giveaway. So I will be doing a 4,000 subscriber giveaway. Hopefully that can happen. I don't know the details of it yet, but I've been thinking it through. But 4,000 subscribers giveaway is coming up soon.
Absolutely, yeah. And my 500 subscribers giveaway is going to be dope, y'all. So make sure you go check that out. The last time I said I was going to do something, it was the one chip challenge, the hottest thing I've ever eaten in my friggin' life. I suffered all day over that. You know, when I ate it, and also later on after that, when it came out the other end. But I did it. I did it. I said I was going to do it. You guys got me to 100 subscribers. I did it. So I am a man of my word, and I'm telling you, the 500 subscriber giveaway is going to be dope. You do not want to miss it. So make sure you go to My City, My Game. The link you put it in the description?
I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
Okay, so we're going to put it in the chat. Make sure you go over there and subscribe and hit the bell for all the notifications, because I'm going to put that video out, and you guys are not going to want to miss that, man.
All right, just give me a second. I'm about to do it right now as we speak.
Robert Puentes says, I'm copping gear ASAP for sure. Yeah, definitely do that, man. 25% off until midnight tonight.
That is our Black Friday sale.
Addie's Math Operation Workshop, what's up? Can you shout me out? And do you think Dalvin Cook and Josh Jacobs will make Pro Bowl and go Raiders and Vikings? Last time I checked, I think Josh Jacobs was second in the Pro Bowl. voting, but I'm not 100% sure. He was either second or fifth, one of the two. But I think he should. If they don't, they should. Both of them. I mean, both of them are having great seasons. Hell Renzo Kyle Hyde says, Spotlight, can you put this link, that guy? Oh, put the link to the. I'm assuming he's talking about what I was talking about.
Yeah, I just put the link in the chat.
Awesome. Other teams, William Merchant says other teams have benefited from our players not being able to play. I hope Julio Jones is a late game scratch. There's a possibility he might not play. There is that possibility, so we'll have to see. Marcus 85 said you're going to eat 3. No, I'm not. One was enough.
One was enough for him. He was struggling the whole 24 hours after he ate it.
Dude, that was rough. That was like my ears were like throbbing. It felt like I had an ear infection because my ears were just throbbing. I mean, my whole head was like tingling and on fire, bro. It was Carolina Reaper and like Szechuan pepper and ghost pepper. I mean, it was no joke, man. Nap God said, drop the link also. Appreciate you, man.
Greg said, have you seen the shadow behind you? There's no shadow behind me. Here we go with the jokes. There's no shadow behind me. Y'all trying to make me scared like I'm on some under AJ Styles type of thing. Absolutely not.
Because you said you were scared of the Undertaker.
Man, I was freaking frightened.
Yeah.
Like Roger, when he came in,
kid, right?
Yeah, I was a kid. He came in 1990. I was born in 86. So like, yeah. Oh, so we got one more caller for tonight. Well, this is the last caller of the night, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Well, that makes me nervous, but I'm going to accept it anyway and see what happens. Hey, what's up, caller? Who's this?
Audie.
Who?
Who's this? Okay. I figured.
Oh, we got a bunch of weirdos. So we gonna turn the phone calls off for the night because we are at the 2-hour mark. And I know it's Black Friday and people, we want to be with our families and stuff like that. So any final thoughts before we end this live stream and get ready for Sunday's game at 1:00 Eastern Standard Time?
Final thoughts. The defense better show up. Jonathan Abram better be on his game, and on his assignment and not be tripping like he was last time. And if that happens, I mean, really, that's about it, man. That's and get pressure on the quarterback. Those few things, man. That's really all we really need to win this game. Because other than that, man, we've got what it takes to do it. So I'm excited, man. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be fun. Finally, a game where we don't have to, be on pins and needles and sitting on the edge of our seat.
Yeah. So I have to agree. The defense has to show up in this game. If we want to win championships, defense have to show up. The offense has put up enough points for us to win the game. Defense got to show out now, knowing that there's no Todd Gurley and a possibility of no Julio Jones. We just got to play not perfect football, but we got to play at least close to perfect football. Yeah, we might get a flag here and there, but we're going on the road and we got to play better on the road. And, even though that is not a full people in a stadium, it's still a hostile environment when you play the Falcons there. If anybody can beat the Falcons in their stadium, the Raiders can do it. So, hopefully, we did our bold predictions. I might have a Raiders video coming out tonight. If not tonight, then it will be tomorrow morning. But thank you so much for being here, Raider Nation. We will be live on Sunday for live play-by-play and reactions for the Las Vegas Raiders heading to Atlanta against the Atlanta Falcons. And right after that game, we will have an immediate post-game live call-in show right after that. And then once that's done, I am doing the primetime games on the Spotlight Raiders Talk as well. So I will be on with Mal Gooley for Sunday Night Football with the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. We will be doing that game. So make sure y'all come in and support the primetime games as well. I understand this is a Raiders channel, but come in and support the primetime games as well. It's still football at the end of the day. Make sure y'all subscribe to My City, My Game, which is my boy Raider J of the Spotlight Sports Network. Go subscribe to his channel. And you have not subscribed to the Spotlight Sports Network, you have to do that as well if you want to be a part of these upcoming giveaways, because these giveaways is going to be great and you're going to love the merchandise and stuff that we're going to send out. Might send out a jersey. You never know. You never know. So you might send out a Raiders jersey or an NFL jersey for Spotlight Sports Network. You never know. That's why you have to turn on all notifications. That's it, y'all. Thank y'all so much. And we'll see y'all on Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Spotlight Sports Network, Spotlight Raiders Talk, My City, My Game. Thank y'all so much. We out of here, y'all. Peace out.
Peace. What's up, fantasy champions? Spotlight Sports Network is excited to tell you about an amazing deal from Thrive Fantasy, your place for daily fantasy sports and esports. Right now, with promo code SS Network, Thrive Fantasy will match up to $50 of your first deposit. So go to thrivefantasy.com and sign up now with promo code SS Network. That's thrivefantasy.com, promo code SS Network. Welcome to the My City, My Game pod show featuring Raider J77, your place for all things Raiders and all things Trailblazers. Brought to you by the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's go.
Once a Raider, bruh, always a Raider, bruh. Shit simple as that. You look silver and black. Lot of bread invested in that O-line.